Had a 0-0 draw tonight. Was that a fair result in the end?
Probably was. I thought first half we played really well, passed the ball really well and created a few chances. I thought the two young lads that started for tonight, Christopher and Ryan McAvoy, were very, very good. I was delighted with the performance all round. I thought in the second half, Pat's changed our system a little bit and caused us a few problems, and for about 20 minutes we sort of got a little bit of a run around, but came in again late in the second half strong and probably could have nicked it in the end, but I was delighted with the performance.
Difficult against Pats though, we haven't beaten them this season.
No, we haven't. It's sometimes you get teams like that, you know. I suppose people say Sligo haven't beaten us, but I think all the games have been tight. I think there's been a kick of the ball in the games that we've played against them. There hasn't been much between the teams, and probably shows in the league table they're a few points ahead of us, so probably shows that we're fairly evenly matched. But you know, I can't fault the players again. I thought there was some good performances tonight, some individual performances. I was very pleased.
There was a goal disallowed as well tonight. What was your view on that?
It's hard to see from the dugout, but according to Bisto, that he's behind the player when the free kick is taken. So you'd like to see it. It's in fairness to the linesman, it's hard to have a go at him. And once you haven't seen it, he's got it right, grand. If he hasn't, then he has got to deliver it.
You tempted at all to put your top scorer for the season in the league on from the start tonight?
Christie, he's struggling at the moment. He's we probably even shouldn't have put him on the bench, to be honest. But it was a case that if we had to utilise him. We had Aidan there as well, and we didn't want to play Aidan. But he felt his toe last night in his knee after training. So Tony just said to me that it might be a bit of a risk if we play him. So we didn't. Thankfully, we didn't have to play him. So maybe a couple of days now we might be okay for Wednesday.
Can't do this interview without talking about some of the main incidents at the match, and everybody has their job to do on the pitch, including the referee. Like, how difficult does that make your decisions during the match when those kind of decisions are made during the game, controversial ones?
I think you talk about referees, and I think you're giving them, it spoils the performance of the players from both sides. I think what you've got to do is look at yourself when you go in the dressing room and the players, both Pats, their staff and their staff and the players, and say, well, we did as much as we could tonight, and we did as honest as we could. Everybody else involved in the game has to do that, so the best person to answer to is yourself. You can't tell yourself any lies, so that's the way it is.
Are the players tired at this stage of the season?
Well, I thought on Monday we looked a little bit leggy, particularly second half. I thought we looked a little bit leggy. We've played a lot of the same players, and they've worked very hard, and we had a hard run of games. I don't think they're tired. I think it's a matter of just trying to rest them, recover them, get them playing again. We bounce back again with a big game on Wednesday, and then another one on Saturday. So you don't get time to. We haven't really trained probably in the last month in relation to proper training. So you're just trying to get them through games. And the good thing tonight was the young boys came in and did really well, so it gives us food for thought for the rest of the season as well.
As you said, a big one on Wednesday. What do you do with the lads between now and then?
Well, we'll be in tomorrow and we'll have a little bit of a recovery, and it's trying to make sure that they're fresh come Wednesday. Maybe one or two training sessions, it wouldn't be a lot done, working in relation to how we're going to play. And that's it. Like I said, there's not a lot we can do at the moment in relation to physical training. You're just making sure that by the time they get to the game that they're refreshed and their legs are fresh and they're not too tired to play.
Finally, are you happy at how the young players have come on this season?
I'm delighted. I think a lot of people say about the young players, but we've had most of them young players for 2 years, and the work that's been done over the 2 years, I think people have seen that tonight, that we've got some really good players, good young players. Unfortunately, the way things are going at the moment, whether we have them any longer is going to be difficult, but I think what they've seen tonight is, people think over the last 2 or 3 years we won leagues and we did that and that, but we've also, our recruitment has been very good, and I think that's shown by the amount of players we've brought into the first team this year.
Thanks for talking to us tonight. Cheers.
Cheers, thank you.